So I write these articles, try to back up claims that are made on these calls. And in this particular article, we covered a lot of stuff. It's stuff we've talked a lot about already on this call if you're a regular listener, but it all comes down to changes in vaccine policy and regulations and how it's all coming out. And today, RFK Jr. was grilled again by another Senate committee, and he repeated multiple times that everyone will be able to access these vaccines. I believe he said for free, or at least most people.
Well, most Americans are going to be able to get it from their pharmacy for free. Most Americans will be able to get it from their pharmacy for free.
You know, he couldn't explain why, and I want you to know nothing here is in support of RFK Jr. because a huge portion of the article is about how we were going to get him impeached. Which actually, one interesting thing today was that one of the senators tried to get him officially on the record.
Mr. Chairman, and I think it is unfortunate that I have to do this, but given the unprecedented nature of the witness's behavior, I would ask now that the committee formally swear in Robert Kennedy as a witness.
And that's where things start getting bad for him because he's already perjured himself. But the thing is that if it's not on the record, it's not perjury. So they have to get him on the record first, which Republicans are avoiding because they know fully well that he is low-hanging fruit when it comes to completely unfit for their position. Okay, we got two problems, right? One hand, there's all this panic over COVID vaccine limitations. The COVID vaccine limitations are the least of our problems with RFK Jr. Like the least of our problems. There are much bigger problems that we need to remove him over. That all being said, it is going to be a little harder for people to access COVID vaccines. That is true. And only harder in the sense that instead of walking up to the thing and saying, hey, I want a COVID vaccine, now you need to say, I have been recommended for a COVID vaccine by my healthcare provider. Because if you don't say that, it may not be covered by insurance.
Those are the magic words.
Yeah.
And don't worry about needing to proof. Just say the magic words.
And it might take a second for pharmacists to catch up to this, but we're going to get them there because it's the regulation as it stands. You don't need to show documentation. It originally started out as an immunocompromised rule. Actually, we got somebody on VRTPAC to say, liberalize the term immunocompromised.
We heard throughout the public comment period several individuals confused by the term immunocompromised. So my plea to the CDC and FDA is that we liberalize that definition and not introduce constraints for individuals truly motivated to receive multiple vaccines throughout the day and allow some form of self-declaration along with their physicians that enables them to get those vaccines and to get the adequate insurance coverage that is needed by some of those individuals.
So I feel like we're just going to take this in like bite-sized pieces, though. I think the first step, CVS and Walgreens, get them to, release the vaccines in every state under the shared clinical decision-making guidelines and get them to order Novavax. So it's going to be like a 1-2. And it is kind of fun that like the work our group did that we were talking about last year is coming back around to fix this problem now. But we got to make sure these idiots don't change it too. Got to make sure that they don't shift on this stuff or make more problems for everybody. But again, if we can get CVS and Walgreens to agree to this consensus that they're just generally recommended and the shared clinical decision-making guidelines allow anyone to have access, and if the important part of this is if you do that process, it is then an ACIP recommended vaccine because they're all ACIP recommended through the shared clinical decision-making guidelines, which I'm so tired of saying and writing.